The older I get, the more I realize, well, there's certain laws of life no one ever warned us about. Not laws that you'll find in a courtroom. These are much more reliable than that. You know, the minute your hands are covered in grease, your nose itches. The minute you get comfortable in the bathtub, the phone rings. And whichever checkout line you choose will probably become the slowest one in the building. Hi, I'm Liz, and now that I'm retired, I apparently have enough time on my hands to study these important mysteries of the universe. So, today, I'm sharing the laws of life, and I'll bet you've experienced every single one of them. 1. Law of mechanical repair. After your hands become coated with grease, your nose, it begins to itch, and you'll have to pee. And suddenly, scratching your nose becomes a decision requiring, well, an engineering degree for sure. 2. Law of gravity. Any tool, nut, bolt, or screw, when dropped, will roll to the least accessible place in the universe. Well, at my age, even if I could get down on the floor, for sure, I'll need a forklift to get me back up on my feet. So I don't even look for it anymore. If it rolls under something, well, it belongs to the house now forever. 3. Law of probability. The probability of being watched is directly proportional to the stupidity of your act. You can do something perfectly 100 times. Nobody sees it. Trip over your own feet just once, and suddenly you have an audience. 4. Law of random numbers. If you dial a wrong number, you never get a busy signal. Someone always answers. And apparently, they're sitting right beside the phone waiting specifically for you. Yes. 5. Variation law. If you change lines or traffic lanes, the one you were in will always move faster than the one you're in now. And if you switch back, you've just transferred the curse with you. 6. Law of the bath. When the body is fully immersed in water, the phone rings, and whoever is calling will hang up exactly 3 seconds before you get there, and you're dripping wet. 7. Law of close encounters. The probability of meeting someone you know increases dramatically when you are with someone you don't want to be seen with, or even worse, with no makeup and no bra. Well, you can go months without seeing anyone you know. Make one questionable decision, and suddenly it's a family reunion. 8. Law of result. When you try to prove someone that a machine won't work, of course it will. Of course it will. Machines enjoy making liars out of us. I know. 9. Law of biomechanics. The severity of an itch is inversely proportional to your ability to reach it. And in your golden years, that unreachable territory seems to be expanding. 10. Law of the theater and hockey arena. At any event, the people whose seats are the farthest from the aisle always arrive late. They're also the ones who leave their seats several times for food, or beer, or the toilet, and then leave early before the performance or the game is over. The people sitting in the aisle seats arrive early. never move once, have long, gangly legs or big bellies, and stay until the bitter end. And by the sixth trip past them, those Isle people are no longer very friendly. And I'll give you a sweet message here. By the third time you've climbed over me, we're no longer fellow spectators. We're enemies. 11, the coffee law. As soon as you sit down with a cup of hot coffee, someone, your boss or whatever, will ask you to do something that lasts until the coffee is cold. Retirement solved this one for me. I don't have a boss anymore. Now, I just forget where I put the coffee. 12, law of the supermarket checkout. The line you choose will contain the person with an expired coupon, an item without a price, and a debit card they've apparently never used before. And the line beside you, which had 12 people in it when you arrived, will be empty before you even move 6 inches. 13, law of physical surfaces. The chances of an open-faced jelly sandwich landing face down are directly related to the newness and cost of the carpet, rug, or freshly washed floor. Drop it on the old kitchen floor, jelly side up. Bring home a brand new rug or wash the floor bullseye. 14, law of logical argument. Anything is possible if you don't know what you're talking about. Which explains an awful lot of conversations I've had over the years. 15, law of looking for things. The quickest way to find something you've lost is to buy a replacement. The original, you know this, will then appear within 24 hours, usually sitting somewhere you swear you already looked 3 times. And by the way, at my age, I don't lose things anymore. I just put them somewhere very safe. At least I thought in my memory. So there you have it. The loss of life and the probability of it happening. And after all these years, I've come to one very scientific conclusion. If something can itch, spill, roll under the rug, the furniture, if it's anything that embarrasses you in public, well, it probably will. But maybe that's one of the perks of getting older, don't you think? We've lived long enough to know these things are going to happen. Yes. And we're finally old enough to laugh about them. If you dare. If you've discovered another law of life or probability that I missed, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And remember, if you drop something and it rolls under the couch or fridge or wherever, don't hurt yourself. It's okay if it lives there now. Meanwhile, take care. Keep smiling until the next time. Bye for now.